You are watching MTG Cribs on MTGO Academy featuring RYANCRABBS.
Hello and welcome. Today I'll be playing in a modern daily event with a pretty sweet deck. I actually found this mono green Infect deck top 8 at a premier event, and I thought that'd be good enough for me to try out. So if you're not familiar with the mechanic Infect, what it means is the creatures deal damage in the form of poison, either -1/-1 counters to creatures or poison counters to players. And then instead of reducing the life total to 0, you can give them 10 poison counters and then they lose the game. And it's kind of neat because there's no way to take away poison counters in Modern. So once they have it, it's there. There's like no kitchen finks, there's no way to get around it. So we play some cheap Infect creatures. We have 4 Glistener Elves, 4 Ichor Clawmere, and 4 Necropede, and 4 Inkmoth Nexus. Then we play a bunch of pump spells. We have Rancors, Giant Growths, Groundswells, Mutagenic Growth. Now if you're familiar with past Infect decks in Modern, they usually don't play Giant Growth. They play Might of Old Corrosa, which is 1 green instant. A creature gets +2/+2, but if you main phase it, it gets +4/+4. And this list forgoes that, instead plays Giant Growths. And I actually like that because Might of Old Corrosa is sweet, but sorcery speed. And Giant Growth consistently always gives +3/+3. So sometimes like you just run out main phase Might of Old Corrosa, you get blown out, but like when you attack, you can wait for them to do something first, and then you can Giant Growth and get a better effect. So it's a little bit weaker, but being an instant makes it more versatile because that card's basically just a sorcery. Then we have some ways to protect our creatures. We have Vines of Vastwood, which gives the creatures hexproof, basically. You can also pump the creature. Then we have 4 Apostles' Blessing, which gives our creature protection from any color or artifacts. Then we have a couple of Dismembers to round out the main deck. Then in our lands, we have a couple other spell lands besides Inkmoth Nexus. We have 4 Cathedral of War, which has Exalted. So whenever a creature we control attacks alone, it gets +1/+1, so it can pump our creatures from just being a land. We also have Pendelhaven, which pumps 1/1s, gives them +1/+2. So we just start out with Pendelhaven and makes it into a 2/3, and then conveniently all our creatures are 1/1s normally. We go to the sideboard. We got Creeping Corrosion for basically affinity, Dismember for creature decks, Guttural Response, which is really sweet. I didn't get to play much during Lorwyn, and so I really like this kind of card. Just punishing blue mages, like countering Cryptic Commands is always fun. Then we have 4 Nature's Claims. This probably, mostly I use this to bring in against Spell Skites. So even if like I don't normally would bring in Nature's Claim against a certain deck, 'cause they don't have targets for it, I'll probably bring it in anyways, just because Spell Skites might come out, and Spell Skites are hard for us to deal with. I've actually had beaten it though with just like Ichor Clawmere and Cathedral of War, because they can't actually block it without the Spell Skite dying, so they just have to like take it until they eventually deal with it. And then we can eventually draw Dismember, and also Apostles' Blessing plays around Spell Skite. Then we have 4 Tormod's Crypts, which I'm not too sure about. I feel like with this kind of deck, you're kind of all in, and you don't want to take out too many of the pieces. So I don't ever see myself sideboarding in 4 Tormod's Crypts, but it's definitely could be good. I think I'd rather like try out a Surgical Extraction for later matches with the deck. Seems sweeter, like your opponent's less likely to know about it. They play into it, and you can 2-for-1 them. Or just stop them, like stop Snapcaster Mage, stop an Unburial Rites, and whatnot. And then a couple of Sylvan Scrying, which is really sweet in the attrition matchups, like blue, white, red. Allows you to grab another Inkmoth Nexus, and so you can't run out of creatures, or a Cathedral War or Pendelhaven for another pump spell. So I think that's pretty sweet, pretty smart idea that I don't think I could have thought myself. So here's a list. We're going to try it out in our daily event and see how it goes.